Hey y'all, it's Tony. I want to talk about how I'm passionate about building friendships, networking. It wasn't something that I was always passionate about, but there was a time in my life where I didn't prioritize it, and then all of a sudden it was an urgency to connect with people, women, and things like that. So my hair don't want to act right. Please ignore my hair, it don't want to act right now. But what I'm noticing is that a lot of women that I'm running into wish that they had a community or ask me, how am I meeting different people? But honestly, it takes intention, courage, and just shoot me a shot, as I like to say. So I am a military spouse and I've been married almost 10 years. And when I first got married to my husband, my mindset, it was me and you against the world. I don't need anybody. The shift for me was when we moved away, and for years it worked. But then it got to a point where it was like, babe, I don't know. I love you, but I want to experience different things. Like, hanging out at a bar is different from hanging with your man versus hanging with your girlfriends. But what really threw me over was me and him had plans. This was during COVID. Me and him had plans to go somewhere, and he got COVID. He got sick. And I had a breakdown, and I was like, man, like, I don't have a life if I don't have you. Like, I was really looking forward to the date. And so I broke down, and it just touched him so. And he was like, okay, I'm going to find you some friends. So he found this Facebook group. It was geared towards Black military spouse women, because the area I was living in, there was a lot of military spouses there. And he was like, yeah, go on this page and find somebody. And at first I'm like, whatever. But I go on to the site, I introduce myself. And of course you have women who say they want to make friends, but then when you reach out, they don't say anything, they ignore you. And that could be for multiple reasons. They're not interested. They make judgments on how you look. So you do experience those things. I just kept shooting my shot with different people. And as people would introduce themselves in the group, I would just introduce myself back. The ones who show interest, I would meet up with them. But what I was looking for was someone who wasn't totally interested in play dates. I didn't want to hang out with kids. I mean, it's okay if you have kids, that's cool sometimes for us to have events to go to together with our kids. But mainly I wanted someone to hang with where I could be myself, drink, laugh, cuss, and not have to worry about kids being around. But I kept dating a couple women, ultimately got to know them, and I met one that stuck. And to me, I feel like that's all it takes. Like, you date, just like when you're dating to find your mate, you date to find the woman that's for you. And we dated, and it was a vibe. Like, she was interested in some of the same things. She understood my quirkiness, because, I'm kind of awkward and quirky, and it's like she didn't even notice. It's a coincidence that we got orders to move. And one day we were hanging out, and she was like, hey, we're going to be moving. And, I know we just met, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, me too. I was afraid to tell you. And she's like, yeah, we're moving to the DC area. I was like, girl, me too. And we was like, yes. So it was like we knew it was meant to be when that happened. We still close to this day. And she's introduced me to people, and I've introduced her to people. And now we have like this group that we're in now, that once a month, someone is in charge of coming up with an event, hosting it. And we just stay together, and I feel like each of us are committed to the group. It's like a responsibility almost, like, hey, show up for the person who took their time to create the event, and just being there for each other, having someone for your birthday, those things is really important. All that to say, it was you and me against the world until I really needed somebody. I'm a military spouse. I don't have family in the area that we've moved to. And in order to not feel the loneliness, even though I do have my husband and my kids, I have to be intentional and meet people. So a reminder I want to give to women is that you never know when you're going to need someone. Whether you're like me, you moved away because of military life, for a job, even if you are in your hometown and you just outgrew the people, whatever, you will need somebody someday. And it's nice to meet other people and in a networking sense, because you never know what benefit they can add to your life. Another thing is, as time passes, you change. You might outgrow the people you went to high school with. You might outgrow your cousins or the friends. Life throws surprises at you. You never know if your loved one will be sick. If you need support with your kids, you need someone to talk to about your marriage, because Lord knows I need someone to talk to about my marriage at times. Another reminder is our partners are not our therapists. If we don't have a community outside of them, we will rely on them for every emotion we experience, good or bad. And as much as they say you could talk to me about anything, it can weigh heavy on them because they have their own issues that they're going through. Not relying on your significant other to be your everything is pretty much the point of all of this. And honestly, they can't handle it. It's like if you wait until you need someone, it's an urgency, it's a panic that you can avoid. Trust me, if you can do it, then do it. Once you make the friends, be intentional about maintaining the friendship. I really focus on being the best friend that I can be. You can meet people, but it's going to take work to maintain a relationship. Maintaining my friendships are important to me. Birthdays are a big deal for my friends. If I can, I'm going to show out for their birthday. I'm going to show up for their birthday. You know, if they have a promotion or they told me about an event happening, I'm going to be there supporting if I can, in the front row on time. If I remember that they had a project, they went to a concert, I'm going to remember and ask how it went. And as being older, having a family and kids, it does get harder to remember all of those things. My issues with remembering, I have to be intentional. I have to put it on calendars. Remind myself to, check on such and such. I was a kid, cheerleading competition. Those type of things will go really far. So once you put in the work, shooting your shot to make the friends, do everything you can to maintain the friendship. All right, y'all, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. I would really appreciate you coming along with me on this journey of me just figuring out different things as I transition from my 9 to 5 to being a full-time entrepreneur. Until next time, keep going and you got this.